My name is Tony Mangraviti. I'm the current Operations Manager and Deputy General Manager of Building Facilities Management Solutions for the Pika Group. I've been in this role since 2016 and I commenced as a building manager with BFMS in 2004, managing a residential estate, large residential estate. And the role progressed from that period. Before entering into the residential strata space, I was working as a facility and security manager for the Department of Education. It's very similar in the role in that we're dealing with people and we're dealing with helping people and finding solutions for people. I purchased an apartment in 2001 off the plan and quickly found myself becoming a member of a Strata committee in a building that was filled with latent building defects. So as a volunteer I was working in quite a capacity to assist the owners of that building to progress through their claim against the builders and the developers to repair their building. My day-to-day responsibilities are overseeing all aspects of client relations and staff relations. So although I'm based in the head office in Goulburn Street in Sydney, my week can involve a lot of travel to all of the sites, just to visit clients and to visit the staff and ensure that everything is running smoothly and that we're providing the service which they would be expected to receive. One of the biggest misconceptions that clients and residents would have about the functions of a building manager would be in relation to the perception of the building manager being a handyman or a security guard or some other function that isn't entailed to their scope of duties or their profession. So often residents will misconceive about the actual functions of a building manager. A good example would be when a resident would approach a building manager to do something that might be out of the ordinary. I was once approached by a resident to help them find their pet snake that had escaped and recover that snake from the gardens. I then replied to the resident, did they ask permission or seek approval for their pet snake? And incidentally the snake was never found and the gardeners found a shed snake skin in the garden several months later, and there was always a great myth and concern that this snake was at large in the garden. So occasionally there can be some very interesting moments and requests from residents, and we always do our best to assist in the capacity that we can. So the most rewarding aspect of being a building manager has been experiencing and assisting a lot of owners, corporations and strata committees in resolving their issues with developers and builders that has resulted in substructural and substandard constructions. So we've been involved as building managers, and I've been involved as a building manager to assist owners corporations with their claims and their remedial projects to ensure that the buildings reach a very high standard. Certainly one of the most important features of a building manager is to provide advice and guidance to residents about maintaining and repairing their unit. And quite often it's important to distinguish what areas are common property and what areas are an owner's responsibility. So the building manager will often provide advice and guidance around these types of issues and certainly assist residents in the process of remediating and repairing their apartment, whether it's collectively as a group of owners or whether it's individually as a separate issue that's contained within a sole occupied unit. The best advice that I could give someone living in a strata property is to educate themselves and to certainly look for information. There's certainly a lot of good resources out there that are provided by various Strata organisations, and certainly PICA has a wealth of information on their website that is made available to owners and residents to help them understand the process about living in the strata. One of the funniest moments I've probably experienced is at a Strata committee meeting with a Strata committee that regularly met at a pub, and they'd often buy rounds of drinks for each other, and as the meeting progressed they would become louder and start to drift off topic quite substantially. So certainly although being one of the funniest moments, I'd certainly recommend that Strata committees don't hold their meetings at the pubs, and certainly limit the amount of alcohol that they introduce to the meeting, because it can certainly take the meeting in a completely different direction and result in a lot of time wastage. Funny moments and jokes, of course, but yeah, certainly not achieving the objectives that are desired. What I love most about building management is helping people and helping the staff. That's one of the most rewarding aspects, is seeing people get the results and achieve a much better living standard and improvements and enhancements to their investments through the implementation of our recommendations and advice. So we're certainly here to help owners and here to help residents achieve a higher standard of living and protect and enhance their investments.